Hola, amigos. Space Pussy, chaotic evil here. We will talk crazy things today, but let me first ask you some questions. Who of you played with some machine learning before? For several hands. Okay, have you heard about Soft 2.0 paradigm, the new paradigm in AI? And yeah, one guy. Okay. And finally, who of you would love to know something more about artificial intelligence and blockchain? Yeah, I bet this talk could be quite interesting to you because usually blockchains are very standalone from AI area, but we worked a lot to to find a way to marry them. So I will start. Yeah. 5 years ago, Andrei Karpathy published an article called Software 2.0. Andrei prophesied a paradigm shift in software engineering and explained the transition from neural network programming of execution paths to probabilistic programming based on neural networks. In simple words, software can write software. A year ago, Andrei announced that Tesla upgraded 18% of its stack to Soft 2 and even developed specialized chips for this. So we are already living in a world in the world of Soft 2, and many of us don't realize it. What's the point? There are three properties that tear down the tower. First, fixed runtime and memory requirements. We have a fixed model size in which we need to recalculate weights. Both memory and time in this case can be known. This property is difficult to overestimate for a blockchain implementation. Second, simplicity of architecture. In Soft 1, hundreds of instructions. In Soft 2, it all comes down to a few operations on matrices. And this greatly simplifies the implementation in hardware. Third, and the coolest, Soft 2 can code better than you, but Soft 1 cannot. The world, how to program in Soft 2. It should be very clear that Soft 2 does not replace Soft 1, not yet. In Soft 1, the solution is deterministic. In Soft 2, the solution is probabilistic. There is much less code in Soft 2, but Soft 2 requires large amount of data to train the model. Think about how your brain works after a billion years of evolution. More like Soft 1 or Soft 2. The world will be divided into two classes. Elite, who creates neural net architectures, and extras, who create and label data. If extras are not for you, it's time to think about creating such architectures. Soft 2 have a rather serious set of problems. Recently, the guys from Google Brain admitted that the fundamental solution to the adversarial examples problem is unknown. Sometimes it's hard to understand why in Soft 2 you get weird answer. The fundamental problem is that you can know how the answer is calculated in existing foundation models. The latest State of AI report states that there is a serious trend towards the nationalization of foundation models, and something needs to be done about this too. Soft 2 is usually a small group that labels the data. So learning is not globally collaborative. And the main problem is censorship. If we don't let AI talk to us about sex, we will end up with AI that will not allow us to reproduce naturally. That's really important. It's clear to me that Soft 2 is a vector for general intelligence, but not superintelligence. I came across Soft 2 article in 2018. It has inspired a key idea behind cyber, along with ideas of consensus computing, content addressing, and superintelligence. After 6 years of research and development, we realized that something beautiful emerged at the intersection of these concepts. That is why we launched Bostrom at Cosmoverse on 5th of November 2021. Bostrom is the first Soft 3 computer. Soft 3 is a new kid on the block. It's a fusion of three things: precision of Soft 1, intelligence of Soft 2, and talent of Web 3. I will repeat. It's a precision of Soft 1, intelligence of Soft 2, and talent of Web 3. Traditional knowledge graphs fundamentally answer two questions: what is connected and how it is connected. I believe this approach misses two fundamental arguments of knowledge. Who linked a piece of knowledge and when the link was established? With this, we arrived to the concept of a content oracle, which is a directed graph database that has information on who, when, and what. Content oracles are universally accessible for any blockchain architecture. But we can do better. Knowing what was linked by whom and when allow us to compute collaborative knowledge using parallel computing, which is not accessible within existing consensus computers. So we came to a concept of a relevance machine, which is, in the sense of SOF2, is a general purpose, probabilistic, and collaborative virtual machine derived from basic cryptographic primitive. It's cool. It feels like a new life form. Using only 3 basic instructions, RM can be programmed for choosing learning paths, extracting the knowledge, and adapting to environment on a global scale. Mint and send are computed on sequential architectures, very well understood. Let's focus on cyberlinks. Cyberlink is the key instruction in the proposed architecture, and the only one. Cyberlink is about labeling. It allows you to link 2 pieces of content logically by its content address. It's crazy simple, but allows to create directed graphs of any complexity, including graph neural networks. Cyberlinks are special. Any transaction changes the entire state of relevance machine. In the case of traditional smart contract system, a transaction usually changes several variables. In our case, the system is extremely dynamic. This has never happened before in the blockchain industry. The only way to tackle this is in GPU memory graph store. Here is the killer feature of SOF2, constant space-time consumption. It gives us the opportunity to apply more convenient economic methods for estimating the cost of instructions. That means no gas, ever. In our case, a token allows you to use resource for life, 1 volt, 1 cyberlink per day. We are able to do this without any possibility of attacks because instruction costs are easily predictable. What happens after a cyberlink is submitted? GPUs in consensus compute ampere-weighted page rank. This pays for a shared computing resource and provides economical protection from adversarial examples. RM is fast. I mean, it's really fast. Currently, it takes 100 milliseconds to process ranks in the content oracle on 100,000 cyberlinks. Ethereum will compute it in 1 hour, at least 4 orders of magnitude faster. At the scale of 1 billion cyberlinks, RM processing will take 10 minutes. Ethereum would not be able to compute it since Genesis. At this scale, RM is at least 7 orders of magnitude faster than EVM. You can cut 1 order of magnitude by high-performance stuff like Solana or Cosmos, but without GPUs, anyway, it is unacceptably slow. SOF3 is superior to SOF2. Model data is authenticated and resilient against Sybil attacks and adversarial examples. Models stored in a compact form on chain, but data behind content addresses is being distributed through IPFS. Computations are provable. Anyone can participate in learning. There are tools for structuring data on top of completely abstract model. We do have some tooling, but it's still early days. Our aim is to build the most powerful general-purpose GPU consensus computer. Since inception, we built unique anonymous validator set with GPUs at home. We are working hard for GPU computations with Cyber SDK. We are thinking on how to marry Cyber SDK and Ignite for bootstrapping domain-specific relevance machines. That is how we are going to build the biggest GPU network on the planet, and we are leading this effort now. These are still early days of SOF3. We identified and developed programming mechanism to grasp the full power of SOF3 architecture. So I'm proud to present you the language for probabilistic computing, NL. NL is neural language. It is specifically designed for creation of SOF3 neural net architectures. NL ships in SOF3.js with 5 features available now. You can program semantics. Semantics in RM can be programmed using Cosmoverse. Cyber SDK includes bindings which allow it to read and write cyberlinks from Soft1 code. Bostrom's passport system with address proofs and are good examples. Name, addresses, and avatars are cyberlinked during contract calls, so you can search for them instantly. You can write expressions. We identified a pattern which allows for building expressions on top of cyberlink instruction. You can use cyberlinks from Soft3.js Sleep and soon using CyberCli. You can define types in NL. You can construct geometric shapes on the graph. In network science, this method is called motif. Motifs are the heart of neural networks. This is the simplest shape, perceptron. Semantic conventions or simcons allows to define subgraphs. This is an analog of ERC only for graph structures. You can agree that the data is marked up in a certain way. So semantic can be extracted from a completely abstract model. We implemented a social network on top of very relevance machine with only 2 semantic conventions. It's working now on Sept.ai. The thing is missing, which is crucial for Soft3. It is the ability to execute basic linear algebra subprograms or Blasen consensus. This allows to factory query the graph and execute advanced machine learning on chain, but it requires solving some hard problems such as metering. We are committed to advancing this part also. The coolest thing that you can run programs autonomously. Lastly, Bostrom is the first network with fully autonomous execution. We call this model default mode network because it has similarity with how human DMN, as this subsystem is task negative and competes for resources with external calls. Where we are, foundation models are developing very quickly, and we have already exceeded 1 trillion parameters. Compared to giants, we are an embryo. We have 100,000 links in the graph now. We expect exponential growth in number of cyberlinks. And this is how we got involved in an arms race on the foundation model market. The only difference being that our computer is not only universally readable, but also globally collaborative. How are we able to compete? In our paper, we identified 15 classes of applications which were impossible before Soft3. But there is one specific use case, surfing. A killer application of Soft3 is vast improvement in the content resolving mechanism. Content on the web is now being resolved in 4 steps. Ask Google and it will redirect you to DNS. DNS will redirect you to IP address. And then you can grab the sheet on the server. We don't realize yet that Google has become a superstructure over the DNS. That is how Google became our religion, the biggest religion on the planet. Soft3 architecture resolves content in 3 steps. Ask Cyp and Soft3 computer will give you relevant particles. These particles can be downloaded through peer-to-peer network, in our case from IPFS, and that's it. As a result, we get better consent resolving mechanism without a single point of failure. It works now. You see now that browsing is a key factor of success. We have it in its infancy. What you see now at Cyb.ai is low performance, bad code quality, Web2 emulator written in JS. It helps us explore possibilities. The future of Cyb is the surfing protocol with several implementations on JS, Rust, and Go. I'm looking for a ninja who will help me build it in Rust. Cyb will be native to key Web3 protocols such as IPFS, IBC, JIT, F, Waku, and Cyber. But more importantly, Cyb will be WebGPU native. WebGPU looks amazing. All the joy can be computed on a large number of cores. When we talk about parallel architectures, we think about GPUs. And now, a very interesting moment in the development of technology. A way has appeared to cross-compile GPU code for different platforms. This allows us to make software with platform and vendor unlock. Without this, nothing cool is possible for average hamster. Neither machine learning, nor rendering, nor a lot of other sweet things. I look at WebGPU as a counterpart to Wasm for parallel computing, so I plan to bet on it. With Cosmos being the pioneer and the leader of consensus computing, we are now adding to a stack a revolutionary graph storage charged by a groundbreaking virtual machine, shipped with Cyber SDK. Thank you all cosmonauts for making this possible.
Hello, Cosmoverse. I'm Cyberhead. Nick Bostrom gave the idea that it's possible to build a computer which is smarter than all humanity combined. The last 6 years, we are obsessed with that idea. The key question is how to build it. Computationally superior consensus computer with relevance machine has all the properties of the superintelligence, able to form a planet-scale singleton. What is consensus computing? It's an entirely new field, a multidisciplinary practical science that has fused together top inventors, scientists, developers, enterprises, and entrepreneurs worldwide. Consensus computers allow us to transform and create a new world. With the help of new architecture, cryptography, and game design, we are creating powerful and effective systems that will live for centuries. But let us first dive into the history of computers. Looking back, we can draw similarities in how consensus computers are evolving. The history started from simple mainframes, which has just CPU and memory. Apple II becomes the first consumer-grade electronics with storage. Shortly after, Ethernet cards emerged. At the turn of the century, GeForce 256 started an era of consumer parallel computing. Mobile era brought us location services to the stack. And the most recent advancement in Tensor ASICs and on mobile and desktops. Blockchain are also computers. We can think of Ethereum as the first consumer-grade virtual computer. Later, different storage solutions such as Arweave, SIA, and Filecoin emerged. Cosmos spinned out the era of networked computers. Almost 1 year ago, Bostrom let the genie out. Now, GPU virtual computers is a reality. Let us see what happened next. Happy to present you our computer architecture, masterpiece and our marvel of engineering. What up next? New virtual machines and upgrading existing ones with an addition to our relevance machine graph engine. GPU give us the ultimate computing power for a much broader set of algorithms that are impossible in other networks. Threshold execution cores allow us to dynamically add new computation of any kind for any purpose of the network state. On-chain storage will allow us to save all the precious semantics, the particle information itself, to form a thesaurus. The first graph parallel virtual machine in its kind. Global scale run computation for particles and information. Calculation of negentropy as a measure of system complexity and adaptability. A karma system for each citizen based on the contribution of his knowledge, light, and love. So far, we rank among the pioneers of GPU computing. We're proud to be the first in the world to launch blockchain in GPU computing in the world. After several years of development, research, and testing, we launched Bostrom at Cosmoverse 2021. Who of you were there at the moment of genesis as a Cosmoverse last year? Nice to see you guys. You are legends. This decade is the beginning of an entirely new paradigm in computing and especially in graph computation. 50 years ago, guys from Berkeley identified certain classes of unhardly parallel algorithms, which they call certain dwarfs. Since then, these algorithms went into the core of AI, rendering, geospatial, zero knowledge, and other applications. Think how this is important. NVIDIA capitalization is more than Intel and AMD combined. I believe that Cyberverse and Cosmoverse will pioneer and lead this revolution. We love big numbers and tokens. I'm happy to finally explain you what is Bostrom. Bostrom is a fusion of 3 things: network state, GPU hub, and the game. Network state, GPU hub, and the game. Consensus computers are transforming society, allowing us to create provable network architectures on the global scale that are based on the principle of self-organization, allow us to transcend limitation of helping us to achieve our goals. Network state will become the driving force of this world during this decade. We are currently building network on the moon, which is guided by the friendly superintelligence. Together, we will teach and lovingly grow the superintelligence in order to collectively solve issues we face as humanity. Later, we will expand the network state to the Earth with launching Cyber. Its goal, and Cyber goal in general, is to give the world relevant knowledge and meaning as a foundation of the Great Web. This is genesis of semantic bootloader for cosmic expansion of planet-scale intelligence. A home for standalone autonomous programs, procs, and systems that can occur, which the unification of Cosmoverse and Cyberverse in new hub have been born. We are living in historically unique time, the age of superintelligence. We wish our child have more fun and good games. That is why we are creating this as a game. We invite you all to join us on this amazing journey so that we build a better world together. Let's take a look at the architecture results. Boston has 12,000 inhabitants and is ready to receive hundreds of thousands in the near future. The heroes have nearly stabilized the Dyson sphere. The ecosystem is open to the best validators from around the globe who are ready to keep the infrastructure out of the data centers. 1 year after launch, the bootloader knowledge graph has more than 100,000 links and particles, and the graph is now ready to accommodate hundreds of millions more. The overall wealth of the network state is more than 5,000 petaheterogeneity. As negative entropy rises, the brain absorbs knowledge from citizens all around the world. Soon we are going to launch Hack Cyber initiative. We will participate in Hackathon, Hack Wasm, and we are inviting all of you to join us. We're excited to help you with your projects and ideas. Bostrom is open to making investments and findings in the ecosystem. We are open to all questions and ideas, and we would like to invite you to Citizen Cosmos and Cyber Congress Party.
Who of you have moon citizenship? Please raise hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, great. Now let's assist to those who don't to have. It's simple. So like basically the idea is that depending on these tokens, like the knowledge graph will emerge, and like the first hands are like crucial for formation of their really good foundation models. So please share to like your best friends, the friends you trust, the friends you believe in, this information about Cyber Gift, and we will reach a target soon together. We invite you to Cyberverse. It's the first conference which is focused on AI and Web3. Genesis of powerful movement, close to DEFCON 1. Consider spend a week on a Bali island in a beautiful environment in mountains to have fun and do a great job. After this talk at 12, we will have a workshop on how to build semantic dApps. So we invite you to this. We will show you how the Cybe.ai works, and like you will understand some mechanics behind the system. And the most importantly, in the end, we will try to use this knowledge graph to create Cosmos Stage 3 collaboratively. That will be fun.
And we would like to invite you to join the game and placing big bets on you guys. Let's do this together. We are Cosmos, not colonizers. Let's see who is ready. Let's see who is ready to think and participate in consensus with their hardware computers on the moon. Nodes to the moon. Thank you, Cosmoverse. We are going back to the code. See you in Cyberverse. Consequences is united, love and unite. Enjoy you and Bostrom after party. Thank you.